Okay, now we're back. Let's go ahead and simplify this algebraic expression. Now, if you notice here, these have negatives on the outside, no numbers. But if you were maybe taught that you can just pretend that's a negative 1 there, I'm going to move that out the way. So then that's kind of like a negative 1, okay? You might have been taught that, so that you can look at that as negative 1 and then distribute that negative 1 inside your parentheses. That, or you could just see negative goes inside the parentheses. It's up to you. So I'm putting that negative in, and I multiply the 2x by negative 1, and I end up with negative 2x. Multiply the 3 by negative 1, end up with minus 3. Then I have my 3y. That's going to become negative 3y. And my 2 is going to become minus 2. So now they're all negative. Now I need to look and see if I have any like terms to combine. Well, I have an x and a y term. They can't go together. So I'm going to rewrite them. Negative 2x minus 3y. And my negative 3 and my negative 2 can be put together to make negative 5. That's my final answer. I want to point out an earlier problem I did. I just want to say this. It doesn't matter what order you write your answer in. I could do negative 5 minus 2x minus 3y. Or I could write it like this, or I could put the negative 3y first. It's not an issue. Just make sure that your signs go with the right numbers, okay? You can't put 5 and then minus 2x. It's a negative 5, okay? You got to be careful. So as long as the sign in front of that number comes along with it, you're good. All right, let's look at the next one. Now this is saying to find the value using the order of operations. Well, again, if you have a calculator, you can punch all this into it, get an answer right away, no work shown, but your teacher is not going to like that. So using the order of operations, we start with parentheses, and I see some with stuff I can do. So copy everything else. Now here, negative 1 plus 2 is going to leave me with 1. I don't need the parentheses anymore. And this is times 4. Next would be exponents. I have one here. 3 squared. Let's do that. Copy everything else. Now, if you remember from the order of operations, they say multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. I always say when it comes to the multiplication, division, and the addition, subtraction part, you always want to work left to right. Don't try to do addition first. Don't try to do multiplication first because it says so. And please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, my PEMDAS, however you learned the order of operations, this thing right here. So some people know it as PEMDAS. Some people know it as please excuse my dear Aunt Sally or anything else, okay? So in this case, do it as you see it. Do this first, then that. We're not adding the 18 because that comes last. So copy your 18 plus. 9 divided by 1 is 9. Now, times 4. Now I'm doing the times 4, okay? 18 plus 9 times 4 is 36. Now I just add those two together, and I should end up with 54 as my final answer. So again, you can plug all this into a calculator and get that answer, but if I just put down 54, my teacher's not giving me full credit, okay? Just letting you know. Let's look at the next one. Alright, so this next one is having us simplify this. Okay, so I had a student ask me, well, notice there's y's here in the top and the bottom, and my numerator and denominator in both these. Can I cancel them out first? Yeah. It's up to you. I got two ways to do this. So 2 ways, up to you. So I can go ahead and write this out, copy exactly what I'm seeing here. And what I'm going to do in this first one is I'm going to divide out my common factors. These both have a y, it goes bye-bye. These both have a y, it goes bye-bye. But here I have a minus y. So that becomes minus 1. So I would rewrite this as negative 1 over 4x divided by negative x over 3. And then I would divide from there and get my answer, okay? And then I'll just show you how to do it. So you might have heard of the keep, change, flip. That's how you divide fractions. So you never actually divide, it becomes multiplication. This flips to 3 over negative x. Now from here, I go ahead and I see if there's anything in the crosses, the diagonals, right, to cross cancel, but I don't have anything. So I multiply straight across, and I end up with negative 3 over negative 4x squared. Double check if I can simplify that. Yeah, I have a negative over negative. That becomes 3 over 4x squared, okay? And that's my final answer. Now, the other way to do it, I'm going to go back and show you, is that instead of doing this step right here where I canceled, okay, is to start doing the flipping. Whoa, what did I do? Sorry, hang on, I gotta get out of here. Oh, where am I? Right here? Yes, okay, I messed that one up. Alright, so instead of doing this, you just go ahead and rewrite all that. So you flip and then you start canceling. So it's completely up to you. So I'm going to do my flipping from the original problem. See, I just flipped that top one, okay? Now I can go ahead and see what I can cancel in the crosses, and I can. I could cancel those y's, and I could cancel those y's. I end up with the same thing, watch. So here this is left with -1, and nothing else to cancel, so I go straight across. I get -3 over -4x squared, which again reduces to 3 over 4x squared. So either way, you learn it. That's how you do it. And at this point, I'm going to stop. Oh, no, I'll do the next one. Well, okay, I'll do the next two. So this one says change the decimal to a fraction, write the answer in reduced form. Well, if you notice, the decimal is in the hundred spot. So if it's in the hundred spot, I take this number and I write it out of 100. How easy is that? If it was in the 10th spot, I'd write it out of 10. If it was in the 1,000th spot, I'd write it out of 1,000. So that's how you go ahead and do that, okay? From here, I need to reduce. Well, you figure out what goes into both of them. Well, in this case, 4 goes into both of these numbers, so I divide out of 4. Or if I didn't know 4, I would just see they're both even, start with 2, and I'd have to do it twice. So in this case, I do 4, and I get 19 over 25. They can't be reduced any further, so I'm finished. Alright, this next one, I just need to plug this stuff in and compute. So I have -6 times -2 minus 6 times 7 all over 6 times -2. So I need to be careful when I'm doing this problem, and I end up with the top, I end up with positive 12 minus 42 all over -12. Now please don't think you can cancel the 12s. You can't do that. Do 12 minus 42 and you end up with -30 over -12. Well, I could do some reducing here if I want. So if I reduce this, 6 goes into both of them, so divide by 6. If not, start with 2, keep going. It works out, guys, believe me. And and they're both negative. So I get the positive, and if I divide them by 6, I end up with 5 over 2 positive. Now, you might have got 2.5. Either one's acceptable, as long as you show your work. You're missing all this stuff and just going right to the answer. Your teacher's not going to like that. So just remember, I keep telling you, show the work. Look at all the work I'm showing, and I can do all this stuff pretty quick and without showing a lot of these steps. So if I can do it, you can do it, okay? And we'll pick up with the next one